Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of On the Mic with Mike. I am your host, Mike Larkin, and joining me today is adult model content creator, if you will, Miss Roxy Main. How are you, Roxy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. First and foremost, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. For those who have not checked out Roxy Main over here on the Twitter machine, if you will, you've been posting a lot of great photos, a lot of beautiful imagery, and really showcasing your stuff as a content creator. Very new to the game, but you were really doing your thing. I think you're having a great start so far.
Thank you. I think so too, but sometimes I'm like, but yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. I think we all have to start somewhere in our journey and what that may be. And I look at it from a stance too as well. You have everything that's so hot right now with OnlyFans and many of it's in so many adult oriented sites that are also a great community site to accumulate money. I think the sky's the limit, and especially with Twitter being how it is and Twitter being more lenient, like we've discussed before, and then Instagram, where Instagram is more like, hey, we take it down, boom. But over here on Twitter, it's like, okay, let it fly, do your thing. So there's a lot more guidelines, but with Instagram more than Twitter. So there's a nice little place for all you ladies to really content create and really just show your stuff and put out the great content as it all.
Yeah, that is very true. That is honestly, I personally don't have okay, I'm so sorry. I personally don't have any like other platforms right now. Twitter's like my main like gig. So like, but it's like honestly, you know what I mean? It's kind of like it's very like dinosaur age right now. It's like message me and I will send, but yeah, all them different platforms. But I personally like have to still explore them. There's just so many of them that I'm like not too sure about. I'm still like dabbling in. Like you said, I'm still beginning and it's some of the stuff's harder than you think, like OnlyFans. I got rejected and I'll be real. I'm so busy with real life that it's hard to get verified. But it's a great like so many like wonderful platforms, to showcase and do what you like need to do, to get some money.
I mean, first and foremost, when you have in your Twitter profile a BBW baddie, I mean, that writes itself. When you look at it from a marketing standpoint, it shows internal and external confidence. It shows just being
Thank you.
a bad bitch, so to speak. You're welcome. I love the name. I think it really does suit. And I also think from a stance too as well, a lot of us men like some BBW baddies. So I got to give you credit because I love the name. I think it sticks and it flows very nicely.
Yeah, I appreciate that because honestly, thank you. Because it's something my friend she helped me because I'm like, I don't even know what to she's like my main. I think I told you about her before. So and you just interviewed her recently. So she's my girl. She's been helping me a lot. Everything is like I literally run everything through her. I bother her constantly. She's a good ass person to help me with it.
Shout out to Miss Aria Gray BBW on the
Yes.
Twitter machine. Well, first of all, what's great about Aria is another one like yourself has a mind and she's open to helping a lot of new content creators. And I mean, we've seen what she's done with her customs and whatnot. She's really grown her platform. And I think what's great about
Yes.
it too is as well, like we mentioned the BBW title for me, and I could say this as a young man growing up and now being 31. I think for me, just having that experience being with women and just enjoying company and not just from the intimate side of things, I've always had I'll say more a bit of like a preference, but more like a gravitational towards the dare I say curvaceous voluptuosity factor, if you will. So for me, I think you have a lot of places for people to dive into, and not just in that particular category here, Roxy. But I think people as
Mhm.
a whole have their preferences, and I think it's very nice to let the freak flag fly, but also at the same time show your uniqueness as a person.
Yeah, I honestly agree with that completely. That's nice though.
It is true. I mean, I think for us as guys, we look at it from a stance too as well, how we like women with BBW, the big beautiful women title. I think it is for us because women come in all different shapes and sizes. All women are beautiful
Yes.
and work of art. But I think what kind of gravitates us more towards the BBW side of things, and I think it's just because body confidence is very key, BC and in the building, but also you're not afraid to be yourselves. You're not be afraid to, hey, this is me. I got a little something something to rock with here. And I think it's the confidence that really exudes in any person that really is kind of a turn on for a lot of men, women in relationships.
Yeah, I honestly feel it too. And I feel like confidence is like something that personally anyone can like achieve. And like a lot of people think like, oh, if they're a certain size they automatically have it, but I've had girls that are like half my size that are like, hey, I wish I had like just an ounce of what you have for yourself, which I've always been outgoing just because like basically faking it, but you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't do it then then you'll never get there, period. Like, you just have to, like, kinda, just put yourself out there, if that makes sense. Believe it in your head, and it will honestly happen, and it's crazy. If you wanna be somewhere, you gotta put yourself there, you know? So, that's how you gotta look at it as a woman, I feel like. You gotta put yourself there.
And I think Ice Cube once said it best: you get your mind right, get your grind right, you got to keep going. But I also like the stance of
Yes.
manifestation, if you will, is if you put it out there into the universe, you can manifest and turn it into your own. And I think with today's day and age, especially with the social media and how technology really has advanced, like having that platform like an OnlyFans or Twitter, a lot of people can really just go to it because, like we talk about, even there's now threads and there's TikTok, there's so many platforms. We're not in the days of where it's just like chat rooms and stuff like that. And like you say,
Yeah.
message DM you. We've come a long way, but also at the same time, it's very old fashioned in the etiquette and the professionalism that you have to want to go with because at the end of the day, it still is a business.
Yes, and it's a strange I mean, like, it's alright. I can, like it. I mean, I'm new to being outward about it, but I've been, doing little stuff like this, like, for a while now. You know what I'm saying? Just been, like it's, like, DL stuff, though, you know what I'm saying? Low key stuff, and then I'm like, "Damn, like, I think that people would probably pay to see me." So here I am, people paying to see me, I think. Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I've always, like, didn't mind it. I've always been, like, very, like, okay with my body, especially people if they wanna see it, then you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, like, I
No,
think I'm hot, so here I am.
no, you're a free spirit. I think a lot of people can love that free spirit mentality and just like, hey, but what I love about it too is as well, we talk about the internal and external standpoint. We come from a day and age from the modeling side of things. I mean, we look from the 90s, we had the Nev Campbells, we had the Tyra Banks, we had the America's Next Top Models. And I mean, you look at
Yes,
the wrestling side of things, you have women like Nia Jax, who is another one, curvaceous, model before
yes,
WWE. You have
yes.
China, who looks the way she does. And I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's the thing. It's like everybody, there's something for everybody. And I mean,
Did you look at my shit? Did you see I watch wrestling, or did you just do that?
no, I was just, well, I'm a big wrestling fan too. So this is the
Oh, bet. Cause
perfect.
dude, dude, listen, Roxy Main, right? I want her separate from, who I really am.
Right.
But I'm a wrestling fan, and my shit's on there. So here I am. I'm always you see my shit at wrestling. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I can't believe I keep doing wrestling shit on there. I'm sorry, I'm cussing so much. But yeah, that's so funny though. But yeah, I'm a big fan of both those women. I'm a big fan of like a lot of the women, period. Like Piper right now, she's cool. You know what I'm saying? What she's doing and all that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like women coming all different sizes and shapes and doing what you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Like you know what I mean? To be honest with you, they should be put more. I wish, real quick, you know how in like the early 2000s they had Playboy deals and shit.
Yes.
I wish they still had those. I wish they still had Playboy. Like, I wish that I love how it went up, like, as in, like, seriousness, but I wish they still had that sex appeal that they used to have. I think that all of them are sexy still. That makes sense that they could do Playboy, but
All right. So first and foremost, I gotta just say this because I mean you've brightened up my day now. We got a smile. We're talking about wrestling here, folks. I mean, for those that have listened to my work over the years, I've interviewed a lot of talent in wrestling. Wrestling is one of my first loves besides pop culture.
oh, dude, listen, mine too. So it's okay. I've loved my whole life. So don't even get me started. We be talking about that.
No, we're gonna talk about this since you brought it up. Miss Piper, talk about Piper Niven over here now, one half of the tag team champions with Chelsea Green on
Bet.
Monday Night. Yep. So
Yeah.
for those that don't know, Piper Niven is a very much like we talk about. She's a big girl. She's voluptuous. She looks very beautiful. She's posted a couple lingerie photos on her Instagram. She's got it going on. I mean, she's a former talent for ICW in Scotland as Viper, and she came into the
Yep.
WWE. Piper Niven do drop, but it's great to see her back, though. I will say that now doing the thing with Chelsea Green. I gotta say, for those who've not watched Monday Night Raw, go out of your way and watch it because it was a very funny segment. Since Sonya Deville's not out, and you insert Piper Niven right into there, I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm glad that period that they are having her as Piper because I was personally insulted by the whole Dewdrop, not because okay, I was insulted because I knew her as Piper, if that makes sense. So that's why I was insulted by it. I was like, God damn it. They had such a good same thing as what happened with LA Knight. That's my boy. I've been watching his shit from Impact now, and don't get me started. You need to go watch that if you haven't. Like anything from Impact. He was hilarious.
Dummy.
Um
Yeah.
Dummy, yeah. Oh, like, don't get me started. You ever watch the one that goes, everyone wants to say, stand up, stand up. If you ask me, you guys can all sit down. It's hilarious. It's about
Shut
he's
up, dummies. I'm talking. Yep, I know.
yes, he is so good. Oh my, I love him. He's so funny, and I watch his interviews. So I also like his grind because he reminds me of myself a lot. So I think that's why I'm like, but he's actually successful at it. But I'm the type of person that I throw my darts at the wall and I try so many things. I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to succeed at something. And like I try to put I mean obviously I work with what I got, but then I'm trying to do so much if that makes sense. And I feel like he did the same thing, but he was kind of more extreme, but I really like him a lot. I love Ellie Knight. He's real cool.
I think it's a one
I
day
wish
at
I
a
would have known him sooner.
no, I think it's a one day at a time type of thing and constantly taking your ear to the grindstone and just really just going for it. And I think with him, like we talk about for those and like Roxy mentioned here, Eli Drake, when he was the Impact World Champion, don't get lost in the sauce. I will tell you straight up and down like 6 o'clock. I remember on the apps you had the dummy button. I spent $1 and I bought me the dummy button on my
Oh
phone.
my god, I wish. I wish. Oh my god. See, oh, don't be started. I wish. I missed it, dude. You know what? I missed that, and I also missed the indie revolution. I caught it right at the beginning of AEW though. I didn't even find the independent circuit till May 2019. I watched the buy-in for Double or Nothing, and then I fell in love with Sammy Guevara's shit. Like, I mean, not in love with him. Like, I don't find that attractive, but now I do. But before I didn't. Sammy's gotten harder, everybody. But he was so humble. Like his grind too. That's why. But yeah, they're my people for like grind when it comes to just doing what you can and grinding it out. But yeah, that's cool because
And,
it's hard.
and plus his theme song, Sammy Guevara, and then it just goes right
Oh
in.
my love him. I met him twice. I love him so much. Beside the point. Big fan.
It's funny how you talk about the indies. So my very first like indie. So I like I said, I born 92. Like my first indie was 2005 for Ring of Honor when Brian Danielson beat.
Don't even. That is so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that is so cool. I wish I would I'm sorry. I wish I wouldn't have missed like that stuff. That is so cool. I didn't even know indies. That's why I'm very like in it now because I'll be real with you. The one big glow up that really happened was the pandemic. I'll
Yep.
be real with you. Like, dude, the only thing though is the one thing that the pandemic took away from me. Oh, sorry, it was MLW. I don't know if you watched that, but the Dynasty
Mhm.
um the like I don't know if you know who they are, but you got Richard Holiday, Hammerstone, and it was MJF, and it was Gino Medina. Don't get me started. That was the best faction in the world, and they were so funny. They're just like a bunch of like rich guys, and they would do just jackass shit, and it was great. And they're always feuding with the Hart
Hart
Foundation.
Foundation 2.0, Davey Boy Smith, Teddy Hart, the whole nine. Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm yelling in your ear. Teddy Hart. Don't get me started on Teddy Hart. I
Yep.
love Teddy, but he's controversial. But damn, he's good in the ring, and I love his cats. And he's not bad to look at either. He looks real good for his age. But I wish he would have. I wish he wouldn't be so damn controversial because he has so much potential. But I see Davy Boys on there again now.
Hmm.
I don't get to look at it that much because it's not as Gino's not on there. That's my boy from Houston. I love Gino. I met him a few times too. I actually I smoke. I think he's on my Instagram. I smoke. So I smoke out there too with all kinds of people. But
Nice. Oh,
yeah.
no, fair enough. I think that's what's great about it too, is as well. And I mean, for you, we're talking about Teddy Hart from back in the day when he was on MTV doing his thing with Wrestling Society X. For those that remember that back in the day, I know.
Dude, I didn't even know about that. That's cool.
Yeah, like, but that's the thing too about it too is as well. I mean, first of all, you are coming in at a good time with AEW, and especially now with All In next week being the big show from the UK, MJF and Adam Cole, baby, the brochachos, if you will.
Oh my gosh. MJF's my baby. I'm in love with that man.
Yep, he's a dude, good dude, fellow Long Islander like myself, man. Grew up in Plainview, did he? I mean, that's the thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm.
I didn't even that is so cool. So you live in the best place on earth. Is
Yes,
that's what he says? The
that's
best
what he
place
says.
on earth or
I'm
most
a
magical?
Yes, well, let me tell you something about Long Island. So I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in East Islip. Where I grew up, East Islip was the high school that I graduated from had like Boomer Esiason went there, Ralph Macchio went there. There's a lot of people from acting and people that went into sports actually went throughout my high school district, if you will.
That is so cool. That I mean, but then you think to yourself, "Damn, that's not me. What the fuck?" I'm sorry, I cussed a lot,
Mm,
but that's dude, I'm the worst. I'll look at people, you know what I do all the time? I'm sorry. I look at, I'll look at someone else, say, "You know they're the same age as me?" Like, for example, like Jungle Boy,
yep.
he's about the same age as me. Austin Theory, same age as me. You got, like, who else is the same age? Rhea Ripley's, I think, only, like, a year older than me, I think.
She's 26. Yep.
Dominic yeah, Dominic, MJF, he's the same well, he's a year older than me too, but I think Dominic is the same age as me. Because I'm born in 98, but I think everyone's, like, born, like, 97, 96 or something like that, but I'm just saying a lot of people are the same. Then you got, Nick Wayne is that his name? Nick
Nick
Wayne?
Wayne. Yeah, Nick Wayne.
God, then you got him, and then you got this other I'm sorry, I'm more into I know we talk about women, but when it comes to talent for men, I love, a lot of independent men right now, but I like a lot of girls too, like, damn, I can't even think of, a lot of them went to TV, so
I mean, there's a lot of ones
basically.
out of there. You have like your Shayna Baszler that's doing her thing now with the breakup from Ronda
Yes,
Rousey. You have
finally.
yes, right, and you have Kyrie Sane coming back to the WWE. You got Asuka, you got Io Shirai. There's a lot of great talent right now. Bianca
I'll be
Belair.
real with you, the, Sasha Banks over at New Japan, people wanna talk about, um her botch or something like did you see the video when she first went I thought she did great over there. Like,
That's
her first debut when I think the girl, like, won and she went out there and just, like, put this new move on her and everyone's like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah." And it's like, "Dude, do you want it to look smooth all the damn time?" Like, it's wonderful, but sometimes it's not gonna look smooth,
well, that's the thing
you
with
know?
wrestling that people don't understand. They always go to the immediate botch thing. I'm like, you got to realize, like sometimes people zig instead of zagging. I mean, it happens. It's wrestling,
You know also, this is what I say, and I will forever say, I tell people, "You go do that and tell me what
right?
and let me see what it looks like, please." That's just what I say, period. Like, someone will say, uh, I say, "You go ahead and do that." No matter how, like, athletic you are, like, it's not the same, and people like to think it is, but that's why I have so much respect for them. I have respect for all that stuff. I have respect for, like, powerlifting too. I'm very, like, "Oh, yeah, that's so cool."
Well, that's
Like,
the thing.
building your body, that stuff's cool.
It's the discipline, Roxy. It's the discipline that goes into it and just really staying on that grind, whether it be gym, mind, body, and soul spirituality. It's really just staying in your lane is really what it is and staying on the path, which makes it great, the discipline.
Discipline, yeah, and we lack, that a lot as human beings, so it's something that I think, that's why we just, crave it, and then we see it in other people, and it's just you know what I mean?
No, I absolutely feel you. And I will say this that kind of equates to what you ladies are doing right now. I think a lot of people don't realize like it's just not just about taking pictures, it's just really putting yourself out there as far as just like you want to do for a business standpoint. And this is where I got to bring it to your menu here, folks. Because if you have not seen this one over here, Miss Roxy Main with her menu, man, oh man, we got a plethora here. I mean, you do custom
Yes.
photos. Like I want to talk about customs here because there's so many great things that go into it that talk about different people's preferences and just overall uniqueness. Your customs, man, 10 for $1, 15 for three, and 20 for five. Like that's a good deal for you right there.
Yeah, $10 for one. I know it sounds expensive, but it's custom, you know what I mean? And then, but, I'll be real with you, I'm nice, obviously, as you can see, and, like, obviously, I have a menu here, but I'm the type of person, like, if you're, like, not weird and, like, you're nice to me, I'm, like, nice to you, and, like, you know, you can get content, you know what I'm saying? If you're a constant flyer, you know what I mean? I'm, like, nice. I like constant flyers. So, like, obviously customs are wonderful, but, if you're happy with, one, hopefully you're happy with, gonna get another, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing or anything else. I'm that type of person. You know, even like, you know, even offer that makes sense. I'll like send a message over. That's the type of thing. That sounds weird, but
No,
I'm I'd like to have a little bit of a type of relationship, not relationship, you know what I mean?
be
A
cordial.
neutral,
Yeah, be cordial with
yeah.
them. Just be polite. I get you. Professional.
Yeah, I don't see the why it's gotta be weird. I'm the type of person, I don't see why anything has to be weird.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, if you're a whether it be clientele or just a certain individual that wants, and if you're respectful about it, like it works. You know what I'm saying? It goes into you not just as your overall morale, but it really does bring the etiquette and it brings the chemistry between you and the said client or said person. So it works. It's a handle.
Yeah, and if I can do what you like and we can get along, let's go. Bet.
Exactly. I like your
Yes.
style. But no, that's the thing too. Like you have customs here, there's a lot of worn attire here, such as worn underwear. Now, here's the thing I will say about this and what I love about you ladies with this. Like a lot of people don't realize, like it may sound a little freaky, it may sound this, but a lot of people like that. You know what I'm saying? There's something about that that really kind of engages the sensuality and just the overall external standpoint that a lot of people are really into. So that's another great quality to add to it.
Yeah, I feel so too. Plus I have a bunch of underwear I want to get rid of anyway. So might as well put it to good use. Plus, you said that. I'll real quick. It's so funny that people. I'm surprised. I hope that people just starts buying it. I don't know why people see it on the menu and they're like, "What the hey?" But I'll be real with you. I've sold on Facebook bras. And if you look on my shit, obviously I have big boobs, and people will be like, you know, and it's a man, right? And they'll be like, "Oh, I'm buying for my wife," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'll talk to them normal, and then they're like, "Oh, is it too small or too big?" And I'm like, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't, I'm thinking to myself, I'm I'm trying to sell it to you. You know the size. You know what I mean? I had, you know what I mean? You know the size. But I'm like, dude, if you just want to buy it for that, just fucking tell me. I'll sell. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta bring your wife into it. You want me to, you know what I mean? I'll up the price a little bit, but yeah, you can buy it. So yeah, I don't understand why it looks a little weird, but you'll be surprised, and it's okay. I mean, buy it. Buy.
Well, that's the thing too, and I think a lot of people don't realize it. It's like how people kind of want to like closet in the fact like you may be into like some BDSM stuff like that because people think that, oh, that's weird. Maybe I shouldn't tell people about that. I'm like, well, fucking tell people because you never know who someone might like the same things that you do. And also number two, you're just being yourself. And like I mentioned, don't go out of your way. If you like one underwear, just say it. You know what I'm saying? Just it's a casual conversation that could be brought to people. And I mean, you start to realize as people we are kind of more equal than we were back in the day when there was a lot more judgment. I mean, today's day and age, it's just like, hey, whatever. Okay, that's you. Do you. As long as you're not hurting anybody, just do you. And then,
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly agree with that. Even though people still frown upon it, they frown upon, but like you said, if you're not hurting no one and it's like what do you call that? Someone's comfortable, because obviously people's not comfortable with that. Some people would be like, what the heck? But obviously I feel like if I'm on here, why would I not be? Personally, I wanted to do a site. I don't know what I'm doing, but I personally want to do a site where I sell pictures in the underwear and then they buy the underwear with the pictures. Like I want to do a bundle like that. That makes sense, but I don't know what to even do with that because I just want to get rid of them so bad and I just want to sell. That's I'm like, I gotta figure out something, man.
no, that
But
I actually like that. You could take the photo with the underwear on and then you take the underwear off and like a nice little smile and a cheese. Like there's a lot of stuff you could do that really encompasses that photo and the said item in it. So it works on the apparel side of things.
true. I just haven't done it yet. I gotta do it. It's happening soon. It's
Hey, we're
happening. Yep.
we're putting that into the universe. I'm sure it will happen. I mean, like I mentioned, you're just on your grind right now, and then the grind only gets, to continue to really just strive and thrive. And I mean, for you, for those who have not seen Roxy's photo, we got to talk about the beautiful imagery here, Miss Roxy, man, because you're
Thank
just
you.
you're welcome. And here's where it comes from. I love bringing up this image. We all really look at things with our eyes from a different lens. You know what I'm saying? Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. We've heard it so many times. What I like about it too is you can rock something that's blue. You can rock something that's purple. Hell, you can have a strawberry in your mouth with a little whipped cream with dessert, baby. It looks fly, no lie. And you could do so many things that really can attract one's attention and really showcases the imagery because it really showcases the work of art in it and how art is overall abstract and really is just very fluid and how people like to view said image. So, I mean, I think it works all around.
Yeah, I think so too, honestly. I appreciate the compliment about it. I personally have one with the whipped cream, right? That's regular, what do you call that? I forget what they call them pictures where they're just lingerie pictures. You get them professionally done. There's certain uh type of, I mean, pictures. My friend, she takes them, and I was like, oh, that'd be so cute for Valentine's Day. So here I am with it. So that was like I've obviously been comfortable for a while. in half naked situation. But, yeah, thank you. It is cute. I have one with a lollipop. I just never posted it. They're freaking cute, but I wanted to do that. Like, I would love to do that stuff, like, just bra and underwear modeling too.
I think it works too. And I mean, I'll say this straight up and down like 6 o'clock. When you really look at just the lingerie models, when we talk about women come in different shapes and sizes, I remember when going to the movies and then you would see a lot of plus size models really modeling like lingerie and underwear. I think what's great about it too is as well, first of all, I'm going to say this right now. Besides the fact that it's beautiful imagery, it's very sexy and for the voluptuous side of things. And who doesn't love, like we saw back in the day with Britney Spears with her cheerleading outfit or whatever, like the schoolgirl outfit and Baby One More Time.
Yes,
Somebody
big
does have
time.
that overall image that people really can gravitate toward, but also at the same time, it works and it's appealing. And also, who doesn't? Because it really makes that sweet, sweet fantasy, so to speak, come to life.
Yeah, I honestly agree with that. Plus, who doesn't love that? Like, honestly.
Well, no, that's the thing too, and I think a lot of people can really relate to that. I mean, it's not just in today's day and age, but you look at from the '90s and onward, we've really seen a lot of sex appeal in magazines and just in general. And like you mentioned with wrestling, I mean, the women that are out
Yes.
there nowadays, like great wrestlers, great talents, but there's nothing wrong with having that sex appeal in between it as well. And I think a lot of people kind of lose sight of that.
Yeah, and I feel like, look at Mandy Rose, dude. Whenever she left and she literally made her OnlyFans and then boom, like how much money did she make? She probably made more than like, but that's just like OnlyFans. But that's just OnlyFans. Like imagine, I honestly just wish that imagine if she like I don't know if she did or not, but imagine if she was in a Playboy. Damn. That'd be crazy. Like it was crazy when Sable did it. It was crazy when what I'm saying, all these other women in the past, they used to like have them come out and like have a big picture of them. Do you remember that? Like out in the ring, like they'd be like, boom, and it's their cover, and it's just, what I mean? Which that's what I grew up with, and I personally like, I think that's why I'm like so okay with it. If that makes sense. Like I've always felt like it was sexy and it was okay to be sexy, and what I'm saying. Some people are weird about that, but I believe it's okay to be sexy, and it's all about a certain way you feel, you can it's all about you.
It's all about being positively proactive, whether it be whatever it is that you do, whether it in your own skin or whether what you do emotionally, physically speaking. And I mean, for you, we're going to talk about this here since you're bringing up the Playboy days. And I've always said this, I've had discussed this on many of wrestling shows that I've been on. The Playboy cover girl was one of the biggest parts of WrestleMania, who would get the women's championship match, a la Trish Stratus and Christy Hemme from WrestleMania 21. I was actually
Yes.
at the Playboy pillow fight at WrestleMania 20, Stacy Keibler and Miss Jackie against Tori and Sable. I was at Madison Square Garden. I was there for that live event of the Playboy pillow fight. And then you
Yes.
yes, and then the Miller Lite Catfight Girls of WrestleMania
I
19.
wish I wish there was a nice balance, right? So we're talking about this, and some people, and as a woman, some people might look at this like other women might be like, "Oh, that shit kept women back," right? And then some women's like, "This is better," and then we're talking about the good old days. I don't know why there can't be a medium.
Well,
Why can't women like to be in their bra? Like, I've been, what I'm saying? Like, why? Don't get me wrong, not all women, and obviously, there's been some controversial shit, with women and wrestling, but like some women just like to be seen, and that's okay. Like, I don't understand why there can't be a media.
well, the thing about it too is as well, I mean, like you mentioned Sable in the Attitude Era, and you had Jacqueline and so many beautiful women. I mean, for me,
Yes,
I look at it from this standpoint of okay, Lita and Trish were rolling around in their bra and panties. And there was a bunch of bra and panty matches and bikini contests and girls not really working. They're just showing their sex appeal and being the eye candy. And then Lita and
true.
Trish main evented Raw. And then that
Yes,
became turn. So they did all of that for all these women to get to where they are. So you can't ignore that history that comes with the territory.
yes, and I understand why they maybe just can't do a little bit. Like, I think it would be kind of cool because they got a few. I think that now in these days, if they did do something like that, it would be such a wrench that no one would see it coming. They'd be like, "What?" I forget what segment it was. It wasn't even a woman's one. Yeah, it was a woman's one. But it was something that, you haven't seen in a while. So you're like, "Oh, like, I haven't seen this for a long time." Like, this type of, I don't know how to explain it, but this type of, like, set, this type of promo, this type of, thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a different, like,
There's a
the
different
way
vibe
that they
to it.
did things.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, there is a different vibe and a different, setup to where they were, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I mean, during the pandemic era, you had Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and Sonya Deville cut her hair. And then you look at even now with
Yes.
Shotzi Blackheart doing her thing for her sister who has cancer, but you incorporated it into the storyline of her going nuts because Bailey shaved her head. Like that's going to bother her. So you added another layer to Shotzi's character, and it works.
Yes, it works. It definitely works, which I'm glad that they're doing more of, like, storylines that they would do, like, with, men, but I do wish they would put more sex appeal into it, but you look at NXT, the women that are coming up through there, they are
Ooh, gorgeous.
definitely more of a mix, yeah, I think, and I feel like but you ain't gonna see no Playboy anytime soon because I think they're more like, but I wish that they would be able to, because they make so much dang money, like, everyone's obsessed with, for example, like, Rhea, everyone's obsessed with her. Put her in Playboy, seriously, think about it. Everyone's going crazy. She's already has all that, that mommy's always on top bullshit. Men love that right now. Certain men, I mean, not all men, but a lot of men like it. So, you already got that sex appeal to her.
That's the best thing because you see all these thirst tweets, and Rhea has said in interviews that she loves it. So, I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why
I
not?
know, but then you think though, would she be okay with it? Who knows?
Well, that's
But
the
they
thing.
don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, remember Maria, and I don't mean to cut you off, my apologies, but look
No, you're fine.
now, Maria, you look at Maria Kanellis when she did it in 2008. I mean, she did an interview. She's like, when I think they asked her the first time, she's talking about, okay, my sister was in high school at the time. So why would I want to do it and have like her sister be the talk of the high school that her sister went to? She's like, I'm gonna wait till she gets older and then I'm gonna do it. And she did it after they heard her sister got out of high school and got a little bit older.
Yeah, because it's such a people have to be their nose has to always be in someone else's business. So, I mean, I respect that. But yeah, I mean that's sometimes people just want to show and then they can make a bunch of money doing it. Period. So I think that's cool. And then sometimes it's empowering. Period. Taking pictures of yourself, like even if you're not, like look like because they look so good no matter what size they are on there, they always look good as hell because they work out and they take care of themselves. That's what we got to do as people, everybody. But even if you don't look like that, just take pictures of yourself, period. You need to, because if you don't, then you won't see the beauty in yourself and you won't be used to looking at yourself. You got to be able to look at yourself and see the beauty with your flaws, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's like Papa Roach when they're talking about scars remind us the past is real, tear my heart open just to heal. I mean, you see a lot of lyricism in that one song. And I mean, you see one of the things I'll say, I kind of like to put it as like the L squared here, Roxy, and I think you can concur with me on this. It's the levels and layers to everything, whether it be internal and external beauty, whether it just be enjoyable. There's levels and layers to everything that people find appealing, that people can gravitate towards. And if you can elicit reaction, evoke emotions, you're already there. You're already like right in home, right there. You know what I'm saying? You're home, pretty much home base, home run. You really knocked it out of the park if you could do that with people.
Yeah, that is so true.
And I think
Honestly, do agree with that.
oh, well, that's the thing too. And I think that as we discuss in today's forum, I mean, whether you look at wrestling, whether you look at music, something's going to stick. We talk about sex appeal, like we mentioned Britney Spears. When Christina Aguilera did Dirty back in the day, I mean, she went completely against the grain from the Genie in a Bottle, which was like, okay, who's this girl? And then as we grow up to the Dirty level and then just go to where she is, she's very empowering. We had Mandy Moore, who was a little cutie beauty singing about I'm missing you like candy. And then there she blossomed. So there's so many different layers out there that really equate to, especially with music and wrestling, same travel, kind of same art form. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're just being you. And also at the end of the day, you're really showcasing yourself in images. You're showcasing yourself as a person. And that's what makes beauty as a whole. And that's what makes the person within. So, I mean, there's a lot of levels and layers, people. You just got to keep getting on up to it and follow. Just follow as we keep going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it takes time to peel back layers, because like some people they aren't too open to it. You know what I'm saying? But when you get older, you're just you know that. I mean, I've known for a while that sex sells, but sometimes people it takes them a while to be okay with that. you know.
I mean, with you yourself, let's be honest here. Well, like you talk about the assets before, man. I mean, we're going to talk about here this, man. You've talked about putting your breasts out there and whatnot. So, I mean, that's fine. And I think a lot of people can say this. I mean, some men are breast men, some people are ass men. There are so many people that really do enjoy what they see. And I mean, if you got it, flaunt it, as they say. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with that. You're just being you, and a lot of people like that. But also at the same time, man, when you're just going out there and being free and being that free spirit, it's just there's something very liberating about it. There's something very rewarding. Like you mentioned, the confidence, the empowerment. It's like, hey, this is me. Boom, take it or leave it. So I mean, there's a lot of things, an emotion side of things that really go into it.
That is true. I hopefully they can see that. They can see that, the, free spirit, because like, that's what's fun about um Roxy Main, is that she is a free spirit, and not all women, sometimes women don't want to be that. So I'll be real with you. Some are prunes and I feel bad, but I think they're prunes because they've been shamed. That's why they're prunes. So, but I've been just me doing the free spirit thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you because we've all went to school with those girls who have been very prunes or they get shut down and it turns them into something that they really either don't recognize or they don't like. And I mean, here's what I've always said about it. I mean, we all as people, even in from our childhood into our life as adulthood, you always want that LOA, as I like to call it, that level of acceptance, right? Some people do crave for it because they want to be accepted. But I think, and I've learned this myself as I'm 31 now, and as I continue to progress and get older and wiser, you don't really start giving a fuck. I'll say this right now, folks. When you get to your 30s, you don't give a shit. And I say that in the most bluntest of terms. And you, like yourself, even at a younger age, in the 20s to mid 20s, you really start to find yourself and you really just not don't fucking give a fuck and you don't give a shit. And I think that's the right attitude to have because, I mean, you take a chance on yourself, you bet on yourself, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But I think with life in itself and adapting, you never stop learning.
Yeah, that is so true. And the biggest thing is finding the time, like breaking through that barrier to actually bet on yourself, to actually go do something that's out there, that like for example, doing this Twitter thing, I'll be real with you. It wasn't, I was kind of like, you know, wasn't really sure. I'm like, this isn't gonna really, you know what I mean? But you just gotta be like, all right, let's just try it. You know what I mean? That's what you, and like not really care, or like know what you want to do, or like take it slow so you're happy with what you're doing with yourself. You know what I mean?
Agreed. And I think facial expressions and evoking emotions is true. And I mean, we've seen a lot of your photos. You smile a lot. You got a nice smile. So I mean, that also is very.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That captivates. Smile is everything too.
Yeah, I hope so. A lot of people will say they like my smile, and it's one of my best features personally. I praise God for it.
Well, God did you right with that, and He has blessed you as He has blessed all of us that have seen your work so far. So, I mean, that's a beautiful thing right there. No, you should be very happy with that. I mean, a lot of people talk about, the external. We mentioned breasts, we mentioned ass, we just mentioned everything in general, but people don't really notice or just take into account how beautiful a smile is. So, yes, exactly. That's a true, folks. Appreciate the smiles.
Yes, that is, which people don't smile much, but here we are. You gotta enjoy what you're doing in life.
Absolutely. And I got to say, a lot of us are going to be enjoying and continuing to enjoy what you do. And I'm going to say this, if I could be real with you, Mr. Roxy, man, I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. And I can't wait to see how your path goes. And I can't wait to see what you do as far as content wise and see where this world of content creation takes you. I really, truly wish you nothing but the best going forward.
Thank you. I can't wait to see either. We're going slow and we're trying. So here we are. We're gonna keep going.
I got to say, from the wrestling side of things, because we talk about this one over here, constantly reposting about wrestling. I got to say what
I
I
know.
no, I got to bring this up to you because here's what I love about you here, and I can relate to this and like wholeheartedly. So when I was a kid, like I'll tell you straight up, love pop culture, love wrestling, but on the other side of things, give me some adult entertainment and I'm happy. So wrestling and adult entertainment and all kind of coincides, if you will. So that was also what has filled up my timeline as well. So I can represent that too as well. And I mean, you just posted not too long ago, and I mean, we all saw SummerSlam. Logan Paul just coming out there with that right hand hook, man. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
don't get me started. I love Logan Paul.
He's
Period.
great. He's people say what they will about him, but that man is working hard and he has hit it out of the park in every match he's been in so far.
And I feel like him and his brother is facing the problem that we all face. But okay, so whenever you live in a little town and everyone knows how you were whenever you were like 14 years old, and they just thought that that was going to be who you were forever. And you could be like 50 and people still sees you as that 14-year-old. That's their problem. You know what I mean? People still sees them as that like 16-year-old, as that Vine, as that guy in Japan that did something that you know what I'm saying? Like they see him as that. And don't get me wrong, some things are iffy, but celebrities are iffy anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? But like people still sees them as that, and they don't see the work and them trying to grow as men. People don't want to see them grow as men, but some people are starting to give them their flowers. They're starting to see it, but it's hard because people just want to pick. It's just like you live in a small town. It's disgusting.
Well, it is. And I mean, people always used to pick, and I mean, I'll say this for the women's side of things. I mean, with Tessa Blanchard doing the indies now, mind you, her and La Rosa Negra have made up since then, but it's also the part of the cancel culture where if the internet doesn't forgive you, then who cares? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you've
Yes.
apologized to that person. And now Tessa Blanchard was very young when she said what she said, which was disgusting and wrong, but she was young and she learned from it and she became humble and she apologized to La Rosa Negra. They've made,
Yep.
but that doesn't matter in the internet community because once you do something, you do something. Oh, they've got to go. And that's unfortunately the part of cancel culture that we really live in today's world, you know?
Yes. And sadly, it sucks because sometimes that cancel culture sticks to people and
Mhm.
sometimes it doesn't stick to people. It's like kind of weird. If you ever notice, like for example, there's certain people that I personally don't understand why people still, I guess it's their fan base, but like then there's people who don't do as bad of stuff and people are just like crucifying them over it. But I feel like as long as people apologize and as long as they move forward, like for example, her, I think that she's still young, A, and I feel like B, if she keeps on like, if she sticks to what, her apology and she changes and she's a great person in the locker room and she's a great talent still. I feel like she'll move up. Like I don't know, you don't know too much, but like there's a guy, I love him to pieces. I don't know if he'll be okay with me mentioning this, but his name's Joe Alonzo. He's like my favorite, but he was having a real bumpy path because like basically no one would book him in 2020. And he was just basically Sammy Guevara's lackey in his vlogs, basically, and like they had a falling out. It was like all over the internet and shit, and no one would touch him with a 10-foot pole. He had problems getting booked in his own area, but like he put in his own work and then he started, being more humble. Just like what I'm saying, building better relationships with people and kind of just like, what I'm saying. And here he is now. He's wrestling in NWA. He's on, what I'm saying. So he's like, building his career, and it was bumpy in the beginning because he just people on the internet still don't like him. He still has problems, but like he's growing though because the internet can do what they want to do, but it depends on how you treat people in the industry, basically.
So I think if you really like eradicate the internet, here's the thing, because where everything's so internet based. If you talk to somebody face to face and you have an understanding and a conversation, and you're either willing to do business or you're willing to just take responsibility, that's the main thing right there. And I mean, I
Yeah.
can tell you straight up, I think you can equate this as well. And people who do listen to this show, like I'm 31 now. So if I'm 31 years old, I've learned, I've seen a lot so far in my young life. But I can tell you straight up, when I was 19, I was a little immature. I was coming out of high school. I was starting to get into the workforce, like my early 20s. I was a different person than I am now in my early 30s. But we all grow.
Yes.
Evolution as it's fine.
Yes. And I always bring this up too. We have evolved so quickly recently. To be honest with you, we have evolved a lot with our like understanding and culturally what is accepted. Like for example, like when I was growing up, you know, it was cool. Everyone would say, that's so gay, or
Right.
gay was a what I'm saying. And or another thing too in middle school was people be okay with saying RAPE. I don't know how you feel about people saying that, but I mean they're like, oh, I would blah 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 them, and they would think nothing of it, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because it was not serious to them. Like what I'm saying, it wasn't serious to the society. If that makes sense. It's changed.
I agree. I think to add on to your point, you make a great point here, Roxy. I think a lot of people you could take from the folks, because a lot of us have said gay in a particular term, but it wasn't to mean like reference to someone who was homosexual. It was more like
Yeah.
something stupid. It's the context that
Yes.
you used it.
Yeah, it's a context. Same thing as like people we just take things more we take our words more serious, that we think about and know about more about mental health, and you know what I'm saying? So we take things way more seriously. But in that, context, we have to look at like what time period that was, who they were, cuz people don't think about what they're going to become and what's going to come out of the closet. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you just got to be everything that you say and do, you just got to be able to like be okay with facing it one day.
Right. And I think that's why I think with my social media and everything in general, I try to stay on the straight and narrow. Well, I think what's great about it too is, folks, and I always say this, sometimes you lose yourself, but it's up to you to find yourself back. And a lot of people do. And I think what's great about it, not just from the God spiritual side of things, but I think it's us as people being very intuitive and very cognizant to the fact that, we need to do better as people, or there's something that we can tweak or change about ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with helping yourself or bettering yourself because it makes you the human being that you are.
Yeah, I agree with that. And our problem is that we don't let people just learn. We always want people just to know. But then people who, you know what I'm saying, that yeah, plus on top of it, things just certain things come to light and then you can look at it. Whenever things aren't in the light, you can't. So then they don't spit hatred about it. You know what I mean? So
I know what you mean. And I think what's great about it too is, and especially with today's forum, we all get to learn a lot of amazing stuff about life and really just kind of equate it to what we have here with us as individuals, and especially the work that Roxy Main does, to quote Mario with his latest song that's out now with Tyga and Lil Wayne, the main one. You can put a little something to that one. I want to be the main one, for those who know what I'm talking about with Mario's song, which is a
I
great song,
love
by
it.
the way. Like, you got
I
to,
love it.
it's great. Like Mario, like I grew up with the Just a Friend, the Biz Marquee cover, and then he did Let Me Love You and How Could You, and then now he's back with Main One. If you've not heard it, folks, it's a great song. It's a really good song.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna look it up because it has my name in it. Because I am the main, I am the main girl that you will come see. I am the main, so I need that to be my theme song.
Yes, there you go. I like it. See, you're already manifesting the character, putting the main one in the background. You want to be the main one. There you
I
go.
have Listen, I have a problem. This is basically what do you call that? This is my persona. This is who I am.
Gimmick, man. You're living the gimmick. It's the gimmick.
Yes, it is. I like it though. So here we are.
No, sometimes what's great about it too is the gimmick of your persona or what have you is, folks, you're just amplifying yourself and turning the volume up. Like, for example, I'll use Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin is that guy, but he's really putting the volume up. Same with The Rock, same with a lot of women that we see, like Charlotte
Yeah,
Flair. When you look at Charlotte Flair, it's Ric Flair's daughter, but that's her just leveled up. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot
yeah.
of various factors that go into it. And I like it. I think your gimmick so far here, Kid has been doing the damn thing. So you have a nice little start, and you're really planting the seeds and brainstorming to how you want to continue the gimmick and their persona. So yeah, there's a lot of creative juices flowing, I can see.
Yeah, there is. I'm just trying to give out the content people wants, you know what I mean? Something not too I'm still lollygagging through it. I don't even know what exactly, cuz there's different fandoms and all that stuff, but I'm still trying to learn that cuz it's kind of weird. I don't fall into nowhere cuz I'm really nice. So it's hard to be, for example, I like the whole I don't know, are you cool with talking about this stuff or
Of course.
okay, so you know how the whole like financial, was it the findom, or I'm talking
Yeah,
about
the femdom.
the femdom. Yeah. I try that, which I've done it a few times, but I'm like so bad at it, I think, because I'm like too nice. I'm so nice.
Okay.
It's like, can someone just want me to be nice to them? Like I'll be everything that your wife won't be. I'll give you a million compliments. Like if send me videos. This is what I'm gonna do. If anyone hears this, just message me and say, "Can you just give me praise?" I can give men praises all day. I'll sing men praises.
First and foremost, we of course we are going to talk about femdom on here. I've had many of dominatrix and adult stars that are do a lot of this and adult content creators. So of course we're going to bring the femdom up in here like DMX. I will counterpoint that, Miss Roxy Main. When you look at femdom, there's so many great stuff from the S&M side of things, and you would actually be surprised. A lot of people that I've come to find that I've either spoke to about it or really see and visualize how they do it. A lot of people have a problem with the and the whipping and everything because they don't want to be mean. So I can understand where you're coming from when you know what's in your heart and you know the genuinity behind it, and you're just like, oh man, I don't want to berate this person. I don't want to talk down to that person.
Yeah, I'm so nice. Like I've had in my personal life men be like, I don't understand. You talk to me like I'm Superman. Like they get kind of pissed off because I'm so I love men. I have a problem. So I'm just nice to them. I'm very nice to them. So, but then like it's hard for me not to be nice. But then I obviously I can be not nice if you really want me not to be nice. But I'm just a lot better at being nice.
Well, you're Patrick Swayze, God rest his soul, in Roadhouse. Be nice until it's time not to be nice.
Yes, yes, that's exactly it.
But no, I'm that same way because I'll be honest with you, as a kid, I turned the other cheek a lot, and I'll be honest, going through school, I was bullied until like that point rages, and then boom. But also at the same time, I remember I also felt bad for that because when I was a kid, I got one day of ISS in school for just getting into like a little brawl, such and such there, which I regret. But I mean, at the same time, the kid deserved it. But also at the same time, it's like, man, why am I putting my hand on this person? Why am I getting into this rate like violence? Because there's no need for it, really. At the end of the day,
Literally.
it really
Yeah,
is.
that's how literally though. I'm the same. But people likes don't get me wrong when it comes to like I like being nice, like obviously, but like when it comes to, certain things like the people likes the what do you call that? The BMS stuff, they like the
The
whips and stuff.
BDSM, yeah, the BDSM.
Yeah, BDSM. Yeah, which I'm okay with. I just don't like drawing blood. That's where I personally don't like the
Yes,
I like a little bit.
you draw the line on the blood.
I don't like I've had blood drawn on accident
Okay.
before. So like not that stuff, just like random sex stuff. So I don't see why to make it worse. Plus my body's just like I'm like a little bit I'm more about the what do you call it? The passion. I just want to feel the passion. I don't what I mean? Like I want to rip you apart. I don't want to be actually ripped apart. So, but everyone's different. Some people likes to be ripped apart, some people, but whatever floats your boat, everyone has different strokes.
No, it's the sensuality side of things. It's like Snoop Dogg when he's talking about that sensual seduction. Sometimes you just want to feel the sensuality as opposed to the hardcore side of things. I get it. I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone push comes to shove. Nothing feels better than feeling the love. I see you. I see what you're rocking with over here, Roxy Man. I got you.
Yeah, the all intensity is all that needs to be, what I mean? Intensity, but everyone has their own intensity.
I feel you. It's the overall, it's the niche. It's what people are into. It's their niche, it's their preference. But either way, it's just people doing people.
Yes, I agree with that. Which we support everyone doing themselves, whatever floats your, whatever, you like, you know.
Oh, absolutely. And I will say this, whatever you do like, explore it, try it out. May not be for you, but you don't know unless you try, and just continue and staying on your paths and journeys. And what I always love to say on this show, folks, and I equate this to you, Miss Roxy main one over here, main chick, main right in the middle, main M to the A to the I to the N. I look at it from a stance too as well. What I always say on this show is life is an art form. We are all applying our crafts. And Miss Roxy I got to say, I got to include you in those sentiments, my friend.
Thank you. I'm definitely trying to put my craft out there and, hopefully be whoever's fantasy, what I'm saying? Cuz that's all what I'm saying? Everyone has a fantasy of something and something they like to look at. So,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're that Mariah Carey, sweet fantasy vibes. Excuse me. Rest in peace, ODB. So, I mean, hey, there's always something for everyone, and everyone out there, internally and externally, is a beautiful person. Just go and continue to show your stuff, show your strengths, and everything will work itself out. And before we do close this out, I will say this, Roxy Main, it is such a pleasure to talk to you about your content creation, some pro wrestling in the mix as well, and just talk about everything that's very empowering. I got to have you back on for a round two. You're more than welcome to come back. I'd love to have you again.
thank you. I hope that this went well cuz I feel like Yeah, we might need a round two because I hope that you was able to ask and it was a good conversation about who Roxy Main is. You know what I mean? My adult content because I did talk about pro wrestling a lot, but I did tell you don't get me started. So
No, you're fine. It's funny. I've had this a couple times. There was an adult star I had on the show, folks. Like a good portion of the show was wrestling because she was also a huge wrestling fan. It's
that is cool because it's so weird because women are looked weird upon when they're wrestling fans. It's still weird to people.
okay. So, all right, we're gonna throw before we even close this out, and after you promote the socials, we got to talk about this here because this is actually something that is very true and very much bluntly honest and a factor that we see. If you're a wrestling fan and you're a girl, they automatically kind of equate to like how musicians have groupies, right? Like that they just want
Yep,
man. The term for the wrestling fans for women are, and it still happens to this day, and I hate it, is rats. Like they just want to get
rats.
it so they can sleep with the wrestlers, which is not true.
I'll be MJF's rat. I'm gonna put that in the universe. Maybe one day I'll be his rat. I would love that.
You want to be one of the Rizats with MJF when he's talking
Oh
about
hell yeah!
Rizats?
Have you not seen that man? Have you not seen his physique lately? Don't get me started on that man. Oh, and his mouth. Like just let him talk to me. I could just squirt to that probably.
So what you're saying is you'll let him talk to you. I like it. I see.
Yeah, and oh, him too. Let him talk to me too. LA Knight, he's sexy as hell too. Don't me started. But yeah. No, that is well the rats thing, and then on top of it, I've gotten a lot. People's question my sexuality because of it. They're like, "Oh, are you like lesbian?" I'm just like, "I'm no, I'm very straight." Which I mean, there's nothing wrong, but me, personally, I love men a lot, but yeah, I'm just like I'm not trying to get in their pants though, all of them, but I definitely do love looking at men. So
It's the same thing. Like I love looking at women. Like I when I talk about beauty, strength, and dominance being the three elements that make women the wake of heart that they are, I mean it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Some men don't like dominance, but here you are liking dominance, it's something that wasn't always a factor in women because they weren't really able to show that too much
no, I appreciate it.
before, but now it's more shown.
Well, that's the thing too with dominance. It's just like you can have a dominant personality. You could just be you. I mean, just showing your strength as a male or female doesn't matter. And I mean, it's funny, like we talk about the sexualities. Like for me, like I have friends that I've interviewed that have been adult stars or just what have you, people I've grown up with who have gone, they've had the surgery, they become trans or what have you. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean I want to sleep with that person. Doesn't mean like if I like this person, we're going to sleep with everybody that we have. It's like, well, we're not all horny all the time, but we can definitely notice when someone looks good. And I think a lot of people still have that misconception, like we're back in high school again. Like, oh man, you like her, you want to just have sex. No, it's we're admiring and we are being an appreciator of the human body. And so there's a lot of beautiful women out there. So I mean, hey, love it, live it, love it, and learn about it, folks.
I honestly like agree with that, but it's honestly crazy the whole thing.
No, I agree. But that, I mean, for what you have now, and I think a lot of people can see from your confidence and you being the Roxy main that you are, I think a lot of people could take away from. And I think you will continue to really inspire and encourage, as we all do through our words and actions with what you do from your imagery and from your overall personality. I think that's going to just, with how you are right now, and I could tell by talking to you, not just being a very nice person, I think you got a good heart. So, I mean, it's all about putting your mind, body, and soul, and especially the heart into it. So I think you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I honestly agree with that. I hopefully my personality like honestly like shines through and like, people just eat it up and want to see more of Roxy Main.
I think we do. I think we absolutely do. And I think with what we've seen so far, it's just an appetizer to the overall, I say, main cuisine that we're going to get from the Roxy Main brand, if you will. Put that on a t-shirt, RMB, Roxy Main brand. There you go.
Literally, yes. I just need you to be like my manager. We just need to get into the business together, period.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I'll be your Paul Heyman. I'll be whatever you need me to be here. I'll be your advocate. Let's go. Let's get it.
Oh my god, don't even get me started. Don't I love Paul Heyman, man.
One of the best out there today. That's my tribal chief. And
He's
just yes,
dude,
my tribal chief.
he's been the best for years. ECW even, man.
Oh yeah, I agree. And I think what's great about it too is as well, like you look at the bloodline storyline and what they've got going on. Roman Reigns, not just him and Jay and Jimmy and Solo. Paul makes that whole thing up with his facial expressions and just everything. Paul Heyman adds so much to that, you know?
No, literally, if he didn't have Paul Heyman, he wouldn't be who he is because
Right.
you look at the promos before, like back in what? 16 maybe. The pandemic helped too, but yeah,
Mhm.
Paul Heyman I think helped. Period. You know what I mean? Being the mouthpiece and obviously working with and behind the scenes with it.
Oh, absolutely. Being a writer for SmackDown and just being that mind that he had, like you mentioned, ECW, even take it back to WCW when he was Paulie Dangerously. So that's one of the great things, not just in wrestling and overall life, folks, in business. You got to have that right mind. And as we mentioned, mind right, grind right, we keep going. But I will say this, if you are a professional wrestling fan, and especially you should be after the way that we've been talking about this throughout this doggone show tonight, you
I
should
know, right?
you should check out All In next week live, Wembley Stadium, London, which AEW is going to be on from noontime on the East Coast here with their 0 hour show with MJF and Adam Cole against Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. And MJF and Adam Cole main eventing. The main show starts at 1. I will say that because I know a lot of people sometimes with the UK times, but yes, it starts at noon here in the States, folks. If you're on the East Side, Eastern Standard Time, it's 12, and then the show's at 1. So we got an early start for All In next week, Miss Roxy, man.
Yes, which earlier the better. The more wrestling, the better. You know what I mean?
I feel you. And then right after that, next week, we got All Out and Payback. WWE's Payback is on that Saturday, and then All Out is Sunday. So you got two AEW pay per views back to back and a WWE pay per view in the same weekend.
Yeah, don't Payback is going to be in Pittsburgh, so I'm hyped,
Oh,
and it's
yes. Okay.
that's literally my area, so I will be there. I'm trying to be there because life, but yeah, Payback is literally Pittsburgh on the road to WrestleMania. So
Yes. And I will say this, folks, whatever you do enjoy, whether we're talking adult themed stuff, whether we're talking wrestling, hell, we could be talking about whatever you want. We could put on some Joy of Painting and watch Bob Ross and his Jufro friggin' paint for 30 minutes. And all of a sudden you start a little something, something. And then all of a sudden here comes a waterfall, for God's sake. But I digress. I think whatever you do in life, enjoy it, live it, learn it, because it's the best doggone thing going today. And before we close this out, Roxy Main, you are on the Twitter machine doing your thing. Twitter, dare I say X, add 2 more X's to it. And we got triple X. Where can we follow you on Twitter? What's your handle?
it's just Roxy Main. It's literally exactly how it's spelled, like in the end. You know, what I mean, ROXXIEMAIN. And then that's also my Cash App if you ever want to, send something.
Dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill, y'all. To quote Wyclef Jean and Akon, get you that dollar bill on the Cash App. Like it. So links will be in the description below this. Please give Roxy a follow on Twitter because she has been doing the damn thing. Hey man, if you're going in a grocery store, you got to flash them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to let them loose. Let them loose, if you will, Roxy man. Hell yes.
Yes, and if you go on there, you'll see them loose all over the place. But, this is just the beginning, so obviously, if you follow the Twitter, you will see, like, upcoming things.
Yes, you will see a lot of the upcoming what Roxy has for her events and her overall menu. So definitely check it out because there's a lot of stuff in store. And I also will say this, it's kind of like, and I'll mention other wrestling reference, folks, when Taz was in TNA Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, and you had the beautiful people, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky. Yes, sometimes you gotta let the pigeons loose, is what you gotta do. You gotta let the pigeons loose.
Oh, don't even oh, man, you don't want you don't want this to end, do you? Don't even love Taz, beautiful people, and that's just sex appeal by itself.
Yep.
If you ever see their thing.
I have. I will say this, folks. It's if you've not seen the beautiful people in professional wrestling, it's like Mean Girls but amplified, and it works so well. Like Angelina Love and Velvet Sky did their thing, especially when Madison Rayne was in the group. And I mean, we got Impact 1000 coming up. They're going to be appearing on the Impact 1000 episode of Impact Wrestling. So I mean, we're going to be seeing them real soon on TV.
Yeah, which honestly, they're like if yeah, just watch their stuff. They're wonderful, beautiful people. Like they're like literally the embodiment of confidence.
And I will say this, what does show confidence is Miss Roxy Main here and her overall aspirations and endeavors of what we're going to see going forward with her. Link will be in the description. Give her a follow on Twitter, like I mentioned. If you want to check out this show, check out SM Show 1 or MCL92 on the Twitter machine. Follow my Instagrams, MLarkinMB or Larkin_92 on the Instagram front. Go to StephenMikeShow.com for the Stephen Mike Show and all these great shows, including On the Mic with Mike. But if you really want to do me a solid, go onto YouTube, subscribe Mike Larkin92. It's very easy. Just type in Michael Larkin and you will see my YouTube channel. We are already up to almost 600 subscribers, folks, ever since I started this channel back up. So keep subscribing, keep liking, and keep showing up and showing out and doing what you do, because there's a lot more great content coming for each and every one of you. And as I always say to end this show, beauty, strength, and dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art that they are. And Roxxie Main, you the main one. I include you in those sentiments. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for this interview.
Alrighty, folks. We will see you next time on the Mic with Mike. Thank you, Roxy.